They talking about it might snow, but anyway. So at least in here it might snow, but at least in this city. But anyway, so a good thing that I just saw more jokes. And the helicopters flying over. We'll see how that goes. But I just saw another good one. I mean, it's the truth. Each thing is the truth, right? Each statement he makes. All right, so Trudeau. Remember I told you I had been calling him Turdo for the last couple of years. You know, he was real, especially by 2020. You know, he was real tough on them. And it's like, well, what do you care about Canadians? It's like we all knew at the time it's all connected. You know, the Democrats, the Labor Party, as they say over in England, Australia, all of it was connected. You could tell who was working with the New World Order people, for if you want to leave it at that. You know, New World Order people, Klaus Schwab, and World Economic Federation. It looks like they probably gonna this time they really gonna vote Trudeau out next their election. So it looked like he's gone. But as usual, you see they're all running down to Mar-a-Lago. He just went down there to see Trump yesterday or whatever. And so they're all goddamn, because they know it's over. They know it from their puppet masters, right? And so it's like one thing. I'll show y'all what he said right quick. If you ain't see it yourself, you know. Oh, I got my camera. My camera came. That was here this morning, like 8 o'clock. Yeah, as soon as I got up, it was already here. I'm letting it charge up. It's supposed to be solar, but you got to, the initial charge and yada yada yada. But so I'm gonna put it on the back gate. But so back to Turdo, Justin Turdo. I'm just standing up because it's kind of chilly right here to the sun. Oh, here's another one too. So whoever special counsel David Weiss objects to dismissing Hunter Biden's case. So that's another one. No selective. So he's saying what he said is, okay, we might can't prosecute him or something like that. He's saying still go forward with it. He's recognizing the pardon or something like that, but it's not a game. He's not trying to do legal tricks, legal wrangling, or nothing like that.
President Biden just ended any chance Hunter Biden will spend time behind bars, but prosecutors still want to move forward with the case to prove Hunter was guilty and that their case against him had nothing to do with politics. Special counsel David Weiss writing the following: the government does not challenge that the defendant has been the recipient of an act of mercy. That does not mean the grand jury's decision to charge him based on a finding of probable cause should be wiped away as if it never occurred. The defendant falsely claimed that the charges were the result of some improper motive or selective prosecution. There was none and never has been any evidence of vindictive or selective prosecution. Katie Cherkasky is a constitutional law.
So they might have. Okay, I paused it. So they might be where they got his ass. He was dumb enough to say it was if he just would have shut up and just said I pardon him, but he had to go and say it was selective prosecution. I'm gonna see what they say, but it looks like he That guy just rolled by doing. Like I said, they're just stupid. These niggas they're just the Democrats are just. You saw that guy? Trust me, he's riding by. Doing his hat or whatever the fuck they're supposed to be. It's over. You lost. You're losers. Nobody. You rejected. The country doesn't like you. The world doesn't like y'all. The world hates y'all. Y'all did it to yourselves. Is that racism? No, you did it to your fucking selves. Jealousy. Nobody wants to be like y'all. Yeah, the club. Nobody wants to be in your loser club. You know what I'm saying? Because that would mean we'd be losers and crybabies instead of just, fix shit. And so, yeah, see, they just keep telling these fools to drive up today. And see, he did that because, was that yesterday? No, that was the day before yesterday. I went and looked at a house. I got the information. So if you want to turn right there, why in the hell would you turn right here? I don't care, if you was using Google, your GPS. When after the first day I came here, I found it right away. I didn't get lost. The only thing I did, I went to that middle apartment instead of this one. When they give you the key, you go to the office. Small apartment complexes like this, you got to go to the office. You got to call and give, $20 deposit or something like that. They copy your driver's license and, give them $20, $50 deposit. Come look at the house by yourself. But I I turned right here. I didn't, have to go all around the world and shit. None of that. I came right here. Only difference, like I said, I went to the middle one. I don't know why. It's like common sense one. Either if you're gonna go to the wrong one, I could have went to the end thinking it was 3. But you got to remember, he just painted these a year ago. When I first moved here, they was sand color, something like that, and it wasn't clearly marked like this. In my old, if you look at my old videos about 2 years ago, yeah, remember everything was different. But I've been here 4 years, almost 5. But yeah, going on 5. Yeah, 2000 January. But so anyway, yeah, let's just see what they got to say. The constitutional people.
Constitutional law attorney, former federal prosecutor. She joins me now. Katie, what is Weiss doing here?
Well, practically speaking, he's really not doing anything because a pardon does effectively end any prosecution.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, but I think they just want to prove that, he lied again about the, selective prosecution. It's like, well, no, we're gonna put it out there that it wasn't selective, that you just, you saved your son a crook, a treasonous, and also more than likely, really he was saving himself. It's like he know damn well he can't let Hunter get prosecuted. He's the big guy, 10% for the big guys. Yeah. You better be glad with a dad like Biden, he better be glad he didn't forget 10% for the big guy. Imagine, could you imagine if he give Joe Biden 10%?
That Hunter Biden was facing, particularly the one that David Weiss is referring to. I think he's talking about the fact that there had been prior challenges to the prosecution, that it was a selective prosecution that were denied by the courts prior to this pardon being issued. But for all intents and purposes, that case can no longer be adjudicated.
So, like, yeah, it sounds like they just want to prove, again, how corrupt they can't do anything, supposedly. But here's another one. Again, all them reporters, CNN, MSNBC, lying about Biden. I mean, the tariffs, right, are going to be a bad thing, and it's going to start trouble with our allies, Canada and Mexico. Mexico already bowed down because, like they said, we only get like 1% from them, right? So they're like, well, we're going to put tariffs on the stuff that we send y'all. It's like nobody hardly buys from y'all, 1%. But 30% the other way, yeah, your economy is going to be crushed because y'all been living off us. And just like with Trudeau, he came and begged.
New details about that Trump-Trudeau dinner from two people who were at the table. We are told that when Trudeau told President-elect Trump that new tariffs would Trudeau dinner from
got her wired to the beginning.
And tonight we're getting some new details about that Trump-Trudeau dinner from two people who were at the table. We are told that when Trudeau told President-elect Trump that new tariffs would kill the Canadian economy, Trump joked to him that if Canada can't survive without ripping off the U.S. to the tune of $100 billion a year, then maybe Canada should become the 51st state and Trudeau could become,
like the kids say, mic drop moment. Boom. There's a boom. Trump killed him with that one. That's some real shit, right? That's like if a nigga can't live. It's like, nigga, you might as well be my son, right? In the street, in the gang, or you selling dope. Like, nigga, you might as well be my son. I'm taking care of you like that. That's what Trump said to Canada. You might as well become another state and you just be a governor, not the president or the prime minister. If you can't survive, and this is true. See, okay, they said reportedly that's what, but you know Trump. Remember, because y'all know for a fact the Democrats, because that's what y'all were worried about. He in 2016, 50, he has no filter. It is like, no, he just say real shit. It is not mean. He just tell it. That's what I'm saying. It's sad that in this day and age, telling the truth is seen as mean, and you have no filter and no empathy. You don't have sympathy. That tells you how weak the men have gotten. You know, men have turned into bitches and the women and shit, worried about empathy. And if the person is telling the truth, whether it's hard or not, you got to man up and tell the truth. And you can't, I don't want to say anything. I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. Now, if it ain't no reason for you to say anything, yeah. But if there's, shit going down, you got to speak up and say so. And what they tried to make it, like I said, so nobody said it like Trump. And that's what I saw years ago when he showed us how China was screwing us up with building new roads and all this and that. That's when I first found out years ago, during the first term, 2018. He was like, yo, you know how Trump talk. They got they're building these beautiful bridges. Yeah, they building all this stuff with our money, right? And but the fools on MSNBC and CNN, there was, like, to this minute, like, if you pull up a video still talking about the terrorists are bad, that Trump threatened, it's a threat, and it's gonna start a war. He know what he doing, because they already been screwing us, fucking us over. And that means the only people, sane people, they're not sane, they're crooks. They're getting paid. They don't care about so if somebody, a so-called journalist, is talking about the tariffs are a bad idea, they're getting paid. I don't care what you say. They're getting paid. They don't care about the rest of us. They're getting kickbacks. It's not, maybe at first it might cause but everybody's prepared. Everybody's like, yo, I'd rather have a temporary rise than Biden, the real inflation. This is just be, because they gonna back down. And most of you see already, Trudeau already came. Trump ain't even in office yet. January 20th, he already came. So really, it's already working. They know he gonna do what he said. And like he just said, yo, you might as well, your hand in my pocket, That's when you still cool with the dude. That's when you joke like that. Why don't you just, shit, nigga, you might as well just move in and be my son. If I'm, you just, that's that New York shit. This is my son right here. Man, fuck you, nigga. It's like, nah, I know you ain't being funny. You know how much money you owe me? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't get no shit. You don't let nobody front you. Remember I told y'all that. You don't get no situation with that nigga, he little boy in you. They tried to do it to us, but they couldn't. They didn't. I told you, they didn't have enough people in high places to cover up what they were doing, and they're not smart enough, right? See, all I had to do was like, nope. I just had to tell somebody, like, yo, You know, like, nah, that's not how it works. You know, you trying that black folks shit. No, look, you got to get in line. They're like, nah, this is your fault. Your department's fault. You know, you got to fix this immediately. It's your fault. I get to the front of the line. Or you owe me your company. You're going to cost your company money if you don't fix it. So what you want to do? You want to still play Miss I Got a Headache? Or you going to do your fucking job and fix the problem? Right? You got yourself in this situation letting these fools pump your head up to try to screw me over. Just because you don't like, the truth, really. It ain't even politics. You know, that's what I'm saying. It's just the truth. It ain't even politics. Like, y'all better grow the fuck up real quick. Y'all got, like, I think 48 days to January 20th. Y'all still running around with this black folks shit and, wearing the same, dressing like, whatever. I don't know what y'all think gonna happen. You ain't gonna get no miracle because Democrats, your leaders, whether you might think it's okay. I'm not a devil worshiper though, but I'm just a Democrat though, because I believe in helping people. Like, nah, bro, your leaders are admitted devil worshippers. They showed us in many ceremonies, the Olympics, yeah, they had, the Grammys, the Oscars, they had wide open demonic ceremonies. Y'all still thinking, you gonna get a miracle or a blessing. You crazy. That's why I make sure to I scream it loud. Ain't nowhere in hell I'm one of y'all. But yeah, but the turtle thing, and like I said, see, they know. And see, he came. Basically, he's like, come on, man, don't do us like this. That's like somebody begging you to let them keep stealing from you. Come on, man. No, man, I got a wife and kid. Well, you need to do something, right? That's like Trudeau, the Canada. You gonna kill us with that, like Trump said, he's not being mean. Look, if you can't survive without stealing $150 billion from us a year, then you need to just come on and just be my son. I can adopt your ass. You being sarcastic, right? Yeah. Shit. You supposed to be a man, nigga. Shit. See, I told you that communist shit was coming to an end. Once everybody found out, y'all really thought that George Floyd was going to change everybody. Oh yeah, let's become communists because of George Floyd. He crazy as fuck. I told you y'all ain't know shit about the streets or dope or none of that shit. You thought you did, y'all. Yeah, Puffy, remember? Yeah, Puffy time. Y'all fell for that Puffy shit. That's the best one. Look. See, now you got some of these Democrats, John Fetterman, I call him Lurch. Didn't he have a stroke or something? Either way, I could talk about certain things. It's like the N-word, fellow Democrats lost male voters to Trump by insulting them, being condescending. Yep, and like I said, when I talk like right now, I'm not being condescending. It's just the truth. It's just the truth. Y'all keep digging yourselves deeper and deeper. And yeah, I'm gonna add a little spice to it. But let's see what this guy shit. It get cold, hold up. It's getting kind of, what the hell cold is it? 39. I just said my hands getting cold. Shit, I might have to take a break in a minute.
Watch what carrots do to your dog. Here are the best and worst foods for your dogs. Number 1.
Disney seems to be making the decision that it's just not worth it. Like, why do you want this much headache? Why do you want the likes of Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar running you into all kinds of trouble when they effectively are nothing but a wing of the Democrat Party? I want to play for you the full soundbite. Somehow, Whoopi Goldberg is now trying to equate with some bizarre logic that actually, frankly, doesn't even make sense. Let me know if you can make sense of this one. She's trying to equate the president-elect Donald Trump and his experience with that of Hunter Biden's. Here we go.
It is apparent. I understand why he would do it, but I wonder to understand why lie about it for so long.
I'd stop calling it a lie.
Okay, why repeatedly say you're not?
Yeah, see, why she back down and say okay? No, like what the fuck? That is a straight up lie. When you say one thing and do another, that is a fucking straight up lie. But like I said, it ain't that big a deal. I mean, it is, but
Can you do it? Secondarily, for the part of this country, half of it that doesn't support Biden, doesn't know him personally, doesn't have phone calls, and they're just looking at a system that seems like it only benefits the people who are in power. What precedent does that set?
Well, here's what it says. It's a precedent for all of us to open our eyes because we've elected someone who is in a similar situation, who didn't have a drug problem, who knew what he was doing, who clearly
yeah, that's another thing. So she's saying if you got a drug problem, you should be pardoned from something. You didn't know what you was doing. It mean so you can get high, fucked up, and just do what you want to do. Oh, I was high, fucked up. Shit, you know, you go rob a bank. Just make sure you got drugs and alcohol in your system. I ain't know what I was doing. If you get caught, you know. They say the dumbest shit. They don't think about what they said. The main thing, everything they said about Trump, all those cases are bullshit, right? The real estate, the one in New York, Fannie Willis in Atlanta, all of them are bullshit. And no, we don't have to. Whoopi Goldberg ain't no lawyer either. So what is she talking about? They're similar. We know crackhead Hunter literally filmed herself with a pipe, laid up with a pipe, hugging a pipe. I'm talking about sleep. With a crack pipe and hose. Yeah, he got bitches and shit, you know, pictures all over pictures. But like I said, that ain't the federal shit. That ain't what we care about. It's his job. Now, if he just got a job with his dad, you know, I mean, because his dad, but it had nothing to do, like say he got a job somewhere at a fucking advertising agency because his dad paid $50,000 a month, you know, nobody would care. But he's selling secrets or whatever, selling access. 10% to the big guy. That's why we care.
And said, I can do this. And he did it. So I think, for many, many reasons, this is very different than any other situation that we have ever dealt with.
I mean, that one's a stretch, I gotta say, like even for her. And by the way, kudos to the brunette there that's making the point very rightly that this doesn't really sit well with the majority of Americans who already believe that somehow the odds are stacked against them with a really corrupt system. We have more on that coming up. It's exactly the point, by the way, that Donald Trump made, and perhaps why he's going to actually pardon the J6 people that are in jail right now. But before...
Exactly, that's it. It's not just... You know, they did it to Trump, like we all know. And I know for a fact, you know, they've been spying on me. You know, that's the whole point of me making these videos, you know, that I started. But, you know, but it's the rest of the people. It really, to wake up the rest of the people. What they, you know, they spying, just like that, they just walk by with the dog. You know, the gang stalkers.
Do you think about how they were trying to grease the wheels for all of this? Even as recently as this Thursday and Friday, if you watch the show, they were already on The View talking about how it was so important that, and understandable if you would, that Joe Biden would pardon his son. Here's Sonny Houston on Friday.
One of the issues that I have is when you look at the charges that Hunter Biden was indicted on, less than 0.09% of the population is indicted
are indicted on that charge. And so it's basically close to zero. So I actually think that the only reason he was indicted is because his last name is Biden. So if you look at it like that, right, if you look at it like that, then it is the right thing to do to correct course and correct that wrong and pardon his son. The other piece of this is Hunter Biden has acknowledged his addiction. He is.
See, that's what I keep talking. They keep trying to make it just about the drug addiction. Like nobody gives a fuck about him smoking crack with strippers. Shit, it's the goddamn security breach. Yeah, the treason.
And in the law, there are all sorts of ways to handle people that commit crimes because of their addiction. There are drug deferment programs, and he should be someone that should be treated a bit differently because of the addiction. And I would support not only, I think, his pardon on the illegal gun application one, but the other one in California as well.
Okay, so thanks to our friends over at Newsbusters for pulling that clip. Interestingly, what is important for you to understand, and for in terms of like why Disney would ever want to keep this program, which increasingly now they do not, we have learned, the reason they don't want to keep it is because, again, basically it's coming from the White House to The View. So what Sunny Houston was basically saying is an exact version of what Joe Biden tweeted out over the weekend. So clearly they were telegraphing a message to The View. Sunny has it right there on set. She's giving the same verbiage that you're going to hear in just a minute from Joe Biden over the weekend. And then on top of that, she's doing the drug thing like, oh, for example, he shouldn't be responsible for his actions because he was addicted, which is exactly what Whoopi was trying to say today. I mean, this is bizarre. This is really bizarre.
Yeah, bizarre. It's crazy. It's like, how many poor people I've been there. I didn't know that. Because I know some niggas, I first heard about that in 2009. And that's what I came up with a joke. I'm like, shit, nigga, you better. I did. I think I said it on these videos before. I was like, well, if that's the case, shit, you better goddamn, if you got some crack on you that you sell, you better light that shit up when the cops pull up. And I know your people gonna be like, you was smoking crack? I thought you sold crack. You a crackhead? Hey, yeah, oh, I got it bad. Yeah, I can't help it. I got it so bad, Your Honor, I lit up the crack in front of the cops. I couldn't help it. I was fiending so bad. Because, what happened, they was complaining, my niggas will be on the street, how they would see people with a cocaine problem, rich white folks, it ain't Alabama raised, no. This is Birmingham courthouse, Democrats. They get drug treatment, but since they're drug dealers selling crack or whatever, and then the white person had way more cocaine on them, but it was regular, pure cocaine, and they get deferred. They don't get no jail time. They get treatment, this and that. They get years in prison, state prison. And they was that's not fair, and the black folks, the Democrats, well, you shouldn't have been selling this nigga trying to escape. Yeah, he now we know, yeah, he need asylum from the Democrats. He trying to escape the Democrats, just like the Mexicans trying to escape Mexico because they poor. Like they said, being poor ain't a reason to seek asylum, right? Just because you want free stuff from America, that don't mean. So it's like, while the niggas in the projects, the niggas and bitches, they can't escape from the Democrats. Why can't they escape from the Democrats and seek asylum somewhere, in Martha's Vineyard or something, where the rich Democrats stay? See, that's what we kept telling y'all niggas, man. Don't let them fool you like that. The House niggas, Obama and all them, don't let them fool you. They trying to replace all of us, especially us, the ones who was never on their side. They want to replace us. They try to replace y'all too. And I was like, damn, I didn't think about that. I was like, why would I think about it? It's like, I didn't know, shit, these motherfuckers, like, this was that, like in the 08, 07, like, yeah, these motherfuckers, you see them crackers, they get deferred sentencing and shit like that, and the rehab. I said, shit, nigga, if that was me there, if I was you, if the cops pull up or something, or to try to bust you, or kick your door in, I used to be a street sweeper. Since I left New York. And I've been here for 4 years. This apartment, I ain't seen it. They just started running that street sweeper. But anyway, like, yeah, see it. Like I said, you better fire up that rock to the SWAT team kicking your door in the house. You better grab some of that dope and try to snort it or smoke it or something right quick in their face. So when they put the police report, what he was doing, he was trying to smoke crack. I thought he was a big time drug dealer. That way you could say, no, I got a problem, Your Honor. I can't help it. I bought all that crack for me. Sir, you had $50,000 worth of cocaine. Well, I like this, the same idea, it's going to Costco. Yeah, I buy in bulk. That way, I can stay high forever. So they won't give you, I mean, it ain't gonna work. Yeah, they still gonna hit you with trafficking, but, I'm just saying, but these people get like with a large amount because they got money to party with, so they party and get busted somehow. But it's personal use. Yeah, personal use. That's what they call it. It's personal use, so they get rehab. But there's Democrat judges doing that shit. Democrat, yeah. That's what I'm saying. I ain't hear all this from racists and Trump. This was before Trump. We ain't think about it. We ain't know nothing about it. This is 07. Like, damn, that's fucked up. I said, shit. I tell y'all, yeah, I got a problem too. I snort about a G's, for a day or so, whatever, ounce a day. I need rehab, Your Honor. But, they won't do it. The Democrats, they won't do it for the nigga. They gonna throw your ass in prison.
What Whoopi was trying to say today. I mean, this is bizarre. This is really bizarre. And then on top of that, of course, Whoopi had to take it one step further and say somehow that because Donald Trump doesn't suffer from those addictions, that somehow he's more guilty of something that, by the way, they just had to throw out of court. What do you think just happened with the whole Mershon thing? They can't move forward with this prosecution because they don't even have a case. Alvin Bragg never even wanted to bring that case initially. So they are increasingly sort of running themselves into trouble. And I'm going to get to it, but let me just jump ahead for a second because I think it is worth noting here just exactly the language of the pardon, right? So Joe Biden coming out over the weekend saying, hey, you know what, I'm going to pardon him. And by the way, I'm going to pardon him for everything, like for 10 years. For 10 years, because he's terrified that Kash Patel and Donald Trump might go after him for not having registered as a lobbyist and accepting money from all those foreign nations. But he also says basically that, this wasn't fair, wasn't reasonable. In other words, he wouldn't have had this happen to him if his last name wasn't Biden. No reasonable person, he writes, who looks at the facts of Hunter's cases can reach any other conclusion than Hunter was singled out only because he is my son, and that is wrong. Huh. Kind of just like what we had to hear from Sonny Houston. So again, they're using ABC, they are using Disney to try and channel a bunch of information. So Disney's like, I don't think so. Like, you really want this headache right about now, especially given that you got a new head of the FCC in one Brendan Carr who's going to come in and say, hey, enough is enough. In other words, you guys are not really playing fair. But maybe it doesn't even have to get that far. So take a look at the ratings. Like, they got great ratings on election day. We can give them that. The highest ratings ever. It was like 4.7 million or something. Okay, kudos to you. The day after election, everybody kind of wanted to tune in to just see them cry, I guess. Like,
that's really what it was. Yeah, that's what it was. The motherfuckers just wanted to see them complain. Like, yeah.
Hey, I watched parts of it. No one could actually you're like in some kind of torture chamber, I guess. Like no one could actually sit through an hour of that show willingly, but I did watch sections of it and played some of them for you. So they got their highest rated day ever. Their highest rated day when they were going on and on about how could this happen? How could he possibly win this election? We're going to just blame social media, X, and all those podcasts, all those bad, like, woohoo, right over here. Make sure you subscribe, share, like. Anyway, here they are.
Do not let Fox News off the hook, please.
But anyway, so my point is, what do they think they're doing? I don't know. I'm like, this is weird. What do they still think is going to happen between now and January? I think we got 48 days or 47 days between January 20th. Like I said, this shit is like, I don't know. They know, I mean, they have to know they're not going to convince people to, I don't know, do what? What are the people going to do? Nobody's going to turn against, Trump. So, what are they planning? But I just wanted to rub that shit in right quick.